self-proclaimed bad boy for life. Sean Diddy Combs' reign as a music mogul might be coming to an end, as heaps of accusations have cast a huge shadow over his once shining career. And now the world's eyes are turned towards the tough legal battle set for early 2025. According to prosecutors, over 120 victims have come forward with serious allegations against Diddy, and the real shocker is that some of these victims were minors at the time of the assault. The music industry is reeling from these shocking revelations following his arrest, with the rapper's 14-page indictment unveiling a dark side to the renowned music mogul, something he had fought hard to keep hidden. Allegations of assault, harassment, sex trafficking, and even murder have severely tarnished his once immaculate image, and as the disturbing details emerge, the public is left questioning the true nature of the man behind the music. Texas lawyer Tony Busby is determined to make sure Diddy pays for his alleged crimes, and over 2 months after the mogul's arrest, Busby is still working hard to unveil new victim stories and bring them to light. Just recently, he filed not 1, not 2, but 5 new lawsuits against Diddy in federal court, some of which contain the most horrific claims made against the rapper to date. These accusations come from both men and women, with some alleging they were only teens when attacked by Diddy, and Busby has suggested that he is representing over 120 victims, meaning that navigating this legal battle might be the most difficult thing Diddy's legal team has ever faced. From the looks of it, the 5 new lawsuits share a common theme with previous ones, mentioning Diddy's alleged drug use and claims that his associates would lace unsuspecting victims' drinks with GHB or ecstasy, while also implicating his bodyguards and colleagues who allegedly participated in the acts of forced sexual assault. As expected, Diddy's legal team is adamant that none of the allegations are true, insisting that all of these cases are part of a big scheme against Diddy to get a quick payday and some media attention, but whether this defense will stand in court remains to be seen. One of the latest lawsuits accuses Diddy of assaulting an unidentified male from Texas, with the lawsuit stating that the incident took place in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when the victim, an actor who would travel across the United States for auditions and acting jobs, found an available role of a police officer in a music video and reached out. The man traveled to New York to meet the casting director at a hotel, where he also met with a person who claimed to be Diddy's bodyguard. This man asked the victim about his background and fitness routine, and soon after, Diddy entered the room and began asking the victim a series of questions, with the lawsuit stating that the rapper seemed particularly interested in finding out whether the victim was staying alone in New York or if he had friends nearby. According to the victim, Diddy looked him up and down and then said, "He'll do," after which the victim was asked to sit down and was offered an alcoholic drink by the casting director, which he declined. He was then given a Diet Coke in a glass, which he drank, but later remembered tasting strange. Soon after, the victim began feeling dizzy and eventually passed out. When he regained consciousness, he was in a great deal of pain and noticed that his pants were pulled down to his ankles, and his shirt was pulled over his head. The victim claims he tried to fight Diddy off, but was restrained by the rapper's bodyguard, and the lawsuit further states that several other men assaulted him that day while he could hear laughter, talking, and even saw camera flashes. This horrific incident severely traumatized the unidentified man, who remembers passing out multiple times before finally regaining enough control over his body to get up. He stated he felt extremely embarrassed and violated, hurriedly trying to cover himself before fleeing the room, leaving behind a prized possession, a commemorative leather jacket he had earned from working as a stuntman on the film RoboCop. The lawsuit was filed under the New York Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, with the plaintiff explaining that he has struggled with intense emotional pain, mental health issues, feelings of disgust, and deep depression stemming from the assault, and that the trauma prevented him from ever marrying and continues to affect his ability to maintain relationships. Meanwhile, another lawsuit filed by Tony Busby accuses Diddy of assaulting an 18-year-old woman at a Halloween party. This woman, who lived in Maryland, claimed that Diddy sexually assaulted her in 2001 when she attended a Halloween party at Club New Yorker in Manhattan with her cousin. According to her complaint, Diddy and his entourage were present at the party, where they allegedly provided drinks to her and her friends throughout the night, and at some point, one of Diddy's security guards escorted the young woman and two of her friends to a large black SUV limousine parked within walking distance of the club, where they entered and found Diddy sitting in the back, surrounded by at least 6 members of his security team. Several security guards were also present in the limousine, and the victim recalled that one of the men handed her a drink. Within minutes, she began feeling dizzy, intoxicated, and disoriented, unable to control her own actions. This account aligns with other allegations against Diddy, where either he or his associates allegedly laced drinks with drugs, including but not limited to GHB and/or ecstasy. Following the drugging, Diddy allegedly forced the victim to perform sexual acts on his security guard before assaulting her himself. After the incident, the victim suffered severe emotional trauma, reporting feelings of disgust, deep depression, and symptoms consistent with post-traumatic stress disorder. Her lawsuit against Diddy has been filed under the New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. Meanwhile, as Diddy's legal team prepares his defense, the number of minors accusing him of assault continues to rise. Another lawsuit recounts a horrifying incident where a 10-year-old boy, who approached Diddy for an audition, was allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted. The now-adult victim describes being left deeply traumatized, recalling returning to his parents in intense pain and distress. This lawsuit echoes previous claims in both civil and criminal courts, with the victim seeking compensatory and punitive damages for the abuse he endured. Court documents state the incident occurred in 2005 when the boy, aspiring to be an actor and/or rapper, reached out to Diddy after gaining early experience through acting projects and a music video appearance. To support their son's career, his parents hired an industry consultant via an online advertisement, who advised them to travel to New York City to meet influential figures in the music industry. During the trip, the consultant arranged a meeting with Diddy for an audition. Like other alleged cases, Diddy insisted on meeting the boy alone, setting up the meeting in a hotel room. Initially, Diddy asked the child to rap, complimented his style, and expressed that he had the potential for success. However, the situation quickly turned dark when Diddy allegedly asked the boy what he would be willing to do to achieve stardom. It turns out Usher himself may be a victim of P. Diddy. Diddy is widely credited with discovering artists like Usher, and the two shared a close bond, with a young Usher even living at Diddy's house for a year. However, these recent allegations have cast their friendship in a new light. The two first met after Usher signed a record deal with L.A. Reid, who reportedly sent him to live with Diddy in New York. As expected, things got wild during that time. In a 2004 interview, Usher revealed that Diddy introduced him to a completely different world of adult activities. Usher explained that there were always girls around, and sometimes you would open a door and find people having sex or even an orgy happening in a room. He said you never knew what to expect. In another conversation with Howard Stern, Usher shared more about his experience, describing it as pretty wild. He admitted to witnessing some disturbing things and emphasized that since it was the 90s, this kind of behavior was expected. However, one response stood out and sparked significant controversy. When Howard asked if Usher would ever send his own kids to a puffy camp, Usher responded with a clear, "Heck no." His blunt answer raised eyebrows, adding fuel to rumors about his experience with Diddy. Usher's comments have resurfaced on social media, especially following Diddy's recent arrest. People are now wondering if Usher was also one of Diddy's victims. In an interview with Kevin Hart, Diddy made comments about Usher staying with him that raised even more concerns. Diddy casually mentioned, "From day one, we used to wake up and wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. Back in the day when he was 10 and I was a little older, we'd fight over cereal before he was even a thing," given that Usher was nearly 10 years. Younger than Diddy and not related to him, this comment raised several eyebrows. Kevin Hart also reacted with surprise, saying, "What did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this? Puff just said they used to wrestle over Frosted Flakes while we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid." With new allegations against Diddy coming out almost every week, the music industry is in a state of shock. People are wondering if the legal battle will expose some A-list celebrities for allegedly aiding and abetting Diddy's crimes. How many more lawsuits will be filed against Diddy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Criminal Corner World to stay updated on the latest developments.